What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I wanted to recreate Olivia Culpo's look from the Oscars this past weekend. If you guys saw it, you would see that she had this really beautiful lavender shadow with nude lips, and I loved it because you don't really ever get to see bold looks like that on the red carpet, like aside from a usual smoky eye or like red lips or anything like that. So as soon as I saw her eye look, I knew I had to recreate it for you guys. But to start off, I've prepped my eyes with my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer, and for the transition shade I'm gonna dip into this NYX Brights palette using this really pale lavender shade. I'm just gonna wipe that all over my crease, and if you look at pictures of Olivia's makeup, you can tell that her makeup artist Sir John sort of shaped her shadow in a different way than normal by really like blowing out that inner part of the eye and making the shape more precise towards the outer corner when it would typically be like the other way around, which I thought was cool because it instantly makes her makeup a little bit more edgy. So here I'm using the shade Meow from that Kat Von D Pastel Goth palette, and I'm just going to place that on top of our transition shade. This is going to help give our eyes a little more dimension since we're using different shades of essentially the same color. Next, I'm going to pick up the color Hopscotch from my Makeup Geek palette, and I'm just going to put that on top of the Kat Von D shade Meow, and then I'm going to put that all over the lid. I'm just going to build that up until I get the intensity I'm looking for, and then making sure I really focus on that inner hollow of the eye, because when you looked straight on at Olivia, that was pretty much the first thing you noticed was the inner hollow of her eye because it was so bright. And what I thought was really awesome about Olivia's look was that all the products she used were L'Oreal, so they were all affordable, and it like kind of shows that your makeup doesn't have to be high end to look good as much as people want to think that it does. It doesn't. If you want to see a listing of all the products that her makeup artist used along with everything that I'm using in this video, make sure you check out the description bar down below. Everything's going to be in there with all the links. Everything that I use in all my videos is always down there, so make sure you check that out. Moving on to the face, I'm gonna conceal using my Cover FX cream foundation and then setting any spots on the face with my Airspun powder just to make sure it doesn't move under my foundation. You can think of the powder as kind of like a barrier between the cream and the foundation. That way when you go and put your foundation on top, it doesn't move. So that's what I'm gonna do. And then for foundation, I'm gonna use my Holy Grail L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte mixed with 2 drops of my Best Damn Beauty Oil, and then I'm gonna tap that out with my Real Technique sponge. This is nothing new to you guys. I honestly don't even know at this point if it's worth it for me to do like an updated foundation routine because you're seeing it every time. My concealer is just gonna be my Tarte Shape Tape. Bet you couldn't see that one coming. I literally just can't put this stuff down. I don't know. It's addicting. I love it. It wears really well. I love it. And now getting into contour, Olivia didn't seem to be wearing like a super chiseled contour, just a light bronzing around the face and nose, so that's what I went for. I'm using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit in light just to add some dimension to the face. And I deepened up the hollows of my cheeks, bridge of my nose, lower lip, and Cupid's bow. Then I just dragged whatever was left on the brush around the perimeter of the face. And I made sure to add some more of that Airspun to the sides of my nose, and I had it sit for another minute just to ensure that I get some good structure. For blush, I use my favorite at the moment. I cannot put this one down either. It's the Makeup Geek Infatuation blush that I bought at the pop-up. It's really the most natural looking blush and the closest in my collection of what Olivia was wearing. So that's why I decided to use this, and now it's time to glow. So for highlight, I used something a little bit more subtle at first, and that was the Tarte Highlight in Exposed. This highlighter ended up being a little too subtle, so I'm going to take my Anastasia Beverly Hills Ultimate Glow Kit and dip into the color White Sand and place that right over the Tarte shade. Oh hey Armani. And now moving on to brows, I'm going to use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Powder in Brunette to get a softer, more fluffy appearance. Olivia's brows were like bold but not harsh, so she definitely had that bushy brow look. I actually ended up using a black shadow at the end of my brow routine to add some darker hair-like strokes in because my brows are already dark, so it's almost impossible for me to get bushy brows like as much as I try, but I tried. And then I just topped it off with some Anastasia brow gel. I swear this video is not sponsored by Anastasia as much as it should be, but that's just me. And now I'm gonna move back to the lid. I'm gonna use the Makeup Geek shadow in the color Daydreamer to break up how matte the eyes were. I just kind of didn't want everything to be so flat. I wanted some kind of shimmer in there. And then I took a clean blending brush and went over the shadow to make sure everything was blended. Now for my lower lash line, I'm basically using the same sequence of colors, starting with the lavender shade in the NYX palette, then moving to the Kat Von D Pastel Goth palette and using the shade Meow. And then I'm gonna finish it up with a mix of the Makeup Geek Hopscotch and Daydreamer shadow just to round out the look. Now going back with that clean blending brush, I'm gonna go ahead and blend everything out. So I ended up using the Makeup Geek shadow in Shimma Shimma mixed with the color Primavera from the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. And now Olivia's brow bone didn't look shiny to me, so I went with a matte bone color for mine. I used the color Tempera, I think it's called, from the Modern Renaissance palette as well. And then I went back again with the clean blending brush to blend everything together. Now I'm gonna finish up the eyes by tightlining my upper waterline with a black kohl liner and bringing that line down and around the inner corner, but not going any farther than that. I don't think she had any eyeliner on, but I just put a super thin line of black liquid liner on my lash line just because I wanted to have something for my lashes to sit on basically. And the lashes I'm using are Cocoa Lashes in Queen Bee. And then I lined my lower waterline with a nude kohl liner by Rimmel. And last but not least, we're gonna do lips. So for this, I outlined my lips with an Ulta lip liner in the color Flesh, and then I filled them in with the same lip liner. And then the gloss that I used was the Anastasia gloss in the color Undressed, and I just placed that in the center and then patted it out with my finger. And here's the completed look, inspired by Olivia Culpo from this year's Oscars. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Comment down below and let me know what you thought, because I really like hearing your feedback. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.